before we do pivot to say whatever there is to say or that can be said about what we saw from the Raiders last night, we mentioned Marshawn Kneeland earlier, and they do continue to carry that emotional burden. There were shots last night of teammate holding up Marshawn Kneeland jersey late in the game. Here's Brian Schottenheimer after the game on what it meant last night for them to go out there and play for Marshawn Kneeland.
So proud of these guys, Calvin. I mean, the way that they grieved, cried, laughed, but they wanted to honor him, and we're not done honoring him. He's a part of our family forever, but it's been tough, man. I mean, these past 11 days have been really tough, but I'm proud of those guys because just the way they played today, they played with Marshawn's play style. I'll be lying if I said I didn't have some tears when I first put the shirt on, as you can imagine. But more than anything, I know Marshawn was looking down on us, and we wanted to make him proud, and I think we did that. And
yeah, I mean, just imagine all of the stresses that you already have. You lived it for all those years. And then you throw something like that out of the blue, unexpected. The number of lives affected by the passing of Marshawn Kneeland, and then you got to get back to work. And the schedule says, here's your game, and you got to find a way to go do it. And they've taken that emotion, and it looks like they've harnessed it in the right direction. And they've done the only thing they can do. Keep going, but keep going with a sense of purpose and hope and that desire to properly honor the memory of their fallen teammate and friend.
Yeah, and I know we're going to pivot soon, but again, there's no words that can describe that feeling. I remember playing a game in 2020. We were in Seattle, and, we're getting ready to go out on the field, and we get the news that, our teammate James White, his father had passed away. He was an officer down in South Florida. And, not a teammate like what they dealt with, but right before the game of playing and everybody's thoughts just going through like for James and the feeling of having to deal with that in that moment and being at the game, you can't get back to help your family. Like, you can't be where you actually want to be in that moment. And I can't imagine for all of those guys that, like you spoke about earlier, away on your bye week, you're here, you're there. How many of them, when they got the news, just were like, man, I just wish I was back. I was back there right now. I wish I could have maybe grabbed them, or I could just be there with the guys to get together and cry and grieve, like all of those feelings. And now out of nowhere, just like us, like you're thrown on a football field. And I thought Dak said it a lot last night. Like, the football field is where a lot of those guys find peace. It's something that they've known for their whole life, playing the game. No matter what they went through, they probably always felt like they had the game of football, and to go through something like that, but to get opportunity to be on the field with your teammates together, bonded together, of playing that game, and for 3 hours or 3.5 hours, you get to kind of forget about what's going on and just live in that moment. You can tell, and it looked like it was special for those guys, walking over to the sideline, lifting up his jersey, doing different things like that. It's just a reminder that these guys are human, but these guys are also gladiators. They go out there and they put their emotions to the side, or they carry their emotions with them, and they come out in multiple ways. It was kind of amazing to watch them go out there and play that game with so much on their minds and their hearts, to go out there and deliver and play the way they did.
And really, at a time when everything seems abnormal and upside down and completely and totally out of sorts, to have something that allows you an escape from everything that's been happening, and just for a few hours, things feel normal again, even though the game last night couldn't have felt like a normal game, but you're back in an element where you can't think about it. You've got too much else that you have to deal with when you're out there between the white lines playing. So I'm sure that in a strange sort of way has helped them through this process, and I think each game the rest of the year will help them through the quiet moments where you have the time to sit and think and and go through your own personal regret. Greg Hardy, the former defensive lineman, Greg Ellis, I think, who was the assistant defensive line coach last year. He talked openly about his own regrets because he wasn't there anymore, and he wasn't, I should have stayed in touch. Like, all those guys are going to be going through that together, individually and together. What could we have done? What did we miss? Think about that. They're gonna carry that for the rest of their lives. What did I not see here? How and so that's part of it too that they're dealing with. So getting an opportunity to just set all that, just put that bag down for 3 hours and focus on something else. That has to be, I think, incredibly useful to their process of continuing to go forward. But it won't get any easier, especially when the games aren't being played. All right. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.